Hello, everybody, and welcome to this part three edition of Exposing the Tricks, Exposing the Lifestyle, the Lies, and the Intentions of TB Joshua. And what we did was to go way back to the early 1990s, 94, 95 precisely, and to talk to Agomoh Paul, who was the very first prophet appointed by TB Joshua. So he was there from the beginning, and he had experienced the foundation of the fake miracles, the fake deliverance, the foundation of the lies and deceptions that was created. And today we see it on TV. A lot of people follow him. The Skoan that you know today. Agomoh Paul has been telling us so much about it, and this is the part three of this interview. Last time we had a bit of network problem, so we're just going to go into it and make sure we make use of our time. Thank you so much for joining me, Agomoh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so last time we are talking about just a bit about the fake miracles, and we're also going to look at his deliverance. Tell us about some of the miracles, how it happened, how it's created, and some of the people that you've met that were disappointed because it didn't work for them.
Yeah. So last time we talked about the miracles, fake miracles in the synagogue, and stage-managed miracles. I mentioned about one particular popular miracle that popular fake miracle that everybody kept carrying on then. That was the day Chris Oyakilome came to the synagogue church. I remember that was where I stopped last time. That guy that was arranged that day, Mr. Westerhoff from the Netherlands, the man actually was suffering from multiple sclerosis. Okay. That sickness, wasn't actually inhibiting him from working. He could walk. But when he's going on a far distance, when he's going on a journey, he had to carry his wheelchair in case. So when he wants to go on his long journey, he uses wheelchair so that his limbs won't fail. So what happened was that day Oyakilome came, Joshua was looking for something to bamboozle him, something to make him see how powerful he was. And Westerhoff was in the church that time. He came with his wheelchair because, it's a long journey. During the interview, we talked. He told us he can walk. He told us not, but he just wanted to receive a healing so that he wouldn't be having that, that slip of bones every time. So that day, we arranged him on emergency line. So Joshua did as if he was arranged as a crippled man. But the funny thing about it was that man was disappointed. He wasn't healed. He stood up and did the normal thing he does in his house to walk around, even jumped a bit and moved faster. That's the normal thing he does in his house. This thing happens only when he's on a long movement, when he's outside so that he wouldn't fall, So the team, everybody jumped. Joshua bamboozled. There was his name, Oyakilome. He believed that this man had received his healing. After the service the following day, we were about, we were extracting testimonies from him. The disciples were extracting testimonies from different angles. Because if you are there, the major thing that synagogue church is after is extracting testimony from you. If you die after that, that's not a business, but they want that testimony. They will do everything to get that testimony when it is very hot. So after extracting the testimony, then it was time to allow him to move a bit so that you can see. This man fell again. He stood up and wanted to walk. He fell again. He kept on crumbling. He returned. Even the situation was worse than what he was before. So the news was that, it is because, you need to act faith. There's no faith. But before this started happening, we have already extracted the testimony on the service day. Extracted the testimony in the morning of that day. Then later, because, you can extract more than 5 times, 10 times testimony from you. So we now examine the 10 of them and know the best ones to use and doctor it and edit it well so that it will appeal to the interest of the people. So that was one. Westerhoff wasn't crippled. The same day, I'm trying to pick important days so that people can quickly relate with it. So the second one was the woman that was brought in the day President Chiluba came. There are a lot of instances, but I'm just trying to pick these important instances so that, people can always relate back to it immediately. That woman that came, that woman wasn't crippled. That woman wasn't bedridden as presented. That woman had some, rheumatism on the waist, so she can walk. Nothing, but she was brainwashed to believe that unless she sits on a wheelchair and being pushed to meet Joshua, that she will not be able to meet Joshua because of the crowd. So the woman accepted. It was the church that gave her that wheelchair. I want people, those who have those videos, to retrieve that video, watch that wheelchair very well, and compare it with other wheelchairs. Compare it with wheelchair given to EJ. There's one man called EJ. They should compare those two wheelchairs and see if it's not the same wheelchair. So let those who have these videos, or let people can go online, check if he will leave them. He's a very smart man. He must have removed all those videos online. He should go check it and compare these things. That woman wasn't crippled. That woman was walking. That woman didn't. God is my witness. That woman did not come to the church with a wheelchair. That wheelchair was given to that woman by the synagogue church. DB Joshua bought those wheelchairs, 4 wheelchairs, and it was Brother James that went to buy those 4 wheelchairs. So that one again, I try to use those samples. At least they are major events. Ide Chiluba came, the woman wasn't crippled. You can examine the wheelchair and compare it with other wheelchairs that other people are using. That of Westerhoff, he came with his wheelchair, but it's not that he couldn't walk. He could walk. All that thing he did, that service, that one the service that Oyekleme was there, was the normal thing he can do in his house. But the test comes when you want to make a long journey, when you want to move for about maybe half a kilometer. That's when you see trouble. The leg will wobble. And that was happening in church. Following the one wanted to test him. He never received any healing. So because of our time, I just skip that too. I told you about the cancer, how cancer is done. There is nothing like cancer. I never experienced any cancer. Some team that came from America discovered that those things were not cancer. Those things were ordinary wounds. No, normal wounds that if you're in your house, it will still go. Just clean it to Savlon and other things. It will heal. So most of them are people who had accidents, machine accidents. And when the accident happened, the wound will be so fresh and so big. The wound will look so big. When they bring them there, they say, this is cancer of the leg. And these are wounds that will heal with time. Clean it well and they will heal. It's not cancer. So these people are being monitored. And also talked about how the before and after video is being made. After praying for the people, the clothing they wear are being retrieved. They are being the recording of the case is being done on a particular background and recorded and kept. So this guy will be the disciples will be following the person up. When the person, after 2-3 months or 4 months, that machine wound is healed, then they will bring the person back again. They will go back to where they kept his clothes, because the clothes he wore the first day he came for the healing is kept in the church, and giving a new one, giving him money for transport. Most of them are there because of the money. Because of money. There's poverty everywhere. In Nigeria, people are hunger everywhere. So most of them they are coming there because of, some people will come and say, they have this, they have that. They know that after they are being prayed for, they will give them money. And every week they'll be going to visit them and be giving them money. So most of them really didn't, it was very simple things. Those simple wounds, normal wounds. The real cancer, those who have cancer, threatening wounds, right from the gate, we'll just pray for them and send them going. So that's by the way. I also talked about how the so-called cripple healing is being made. How you can, right from the gate, nobody that has any problem with the feet, you are allowed to come without a car. You come with a car so that you'll be able to arrange, put the wheelchair inside for you, so you take it home and bring it back again. So all through, in a nutshell, all through my stay in the synagogue church, God is my witness. I never saw anyone who is crippled, who came with his wheelchair and was healed. Those who came with their wheelchairs from overseas, they were mostly from overseas, not Nigeria. All those healed from Nigeria had the wheelchair they used with Nigeria, were all our wheelchairs there. So those who came from overseas, none of them received healing. They went back with their problems. They went back with their problems. And once they have that kind of cripple that they cannot even make attempt to walk, that they cannot walk, we will not accept them. We accept those who have problems that will allow them to walk at least for 10, 15 meters. So with 10, 15 meters. So that will be enough for us to record our message. That will be enough for us to extract the testimony. So that's just about the cripple. So what about the deliverances?
Yes,
so-called
I want you to really talk about the deliverance, because we see a lot of it on
This
TV. We see a lot of it on videos.
Yes. Yes, this is where you see the real and full work of witchcraft combined with manipulations and brainwash. You know, it's easy. You know, this guy is an evil genius. It's easy if somebody is possessed, it's a lot more easier to deliver that person just within a twinkle of an eye. You deliver a possessed person. But somebody who is indoctrinated, who is brainwashed, it will be very difficult for you to put that person right. It takes a longer time to re-indoctrinate somebody than to indoctrinate the person. So this is what happens. So these three forces are being pulled together for deliverance. There's the witchcraft part of it, the witchcraft part of it, the juju, the voodooism, wherever it goes.
Go ahead.
Akachuku, please, I'm doing some programs. Please, I'm doing program. Cut it. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
I said I am doing a program. Cut it. I'm doing a program. Cut it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, as I was saying, the miracles you see there are something else. They are all fake. The deliverances is the worst of all the whole things that happen in the synagogue church, because this is a fusion of witchcraft, voodooism, and manipulation and brainwash. This is are pulled up together. It starts with when the people come for service in the early morning. Some will come, they have moving objects in their body. Some will come, things are not moving well. Some will come, in fact, every time they have nightmare. Some will come with different things. Those these people that have some complaints that cannot be, that cannot be grouped into the crippled side, that cannot be grouped into the blind, that cannot be grouped into the cancer, they pull them all together at one place. Those who have psychological problems, so they put them together. Then right there, they begin to interview them. So they call them, ask them, first of all, what kind of dream do you have? So when you say I eat in a dream, they put you one side. You're a candidate for deliverance. When you say I swim in a dream, they put you one side. You're a candidate for deliverance. When you say I fly in a dream, they put you one side. You're a candidate for deliverance. So after when they bring these people, they will now begin to brainwash them. Let them know that if you eat in a dream, that means you belong to a cult, you belong to a village cult, you belong to a traditional home cult that is affecting and influencing your life, that is disturbing you from progressing, that is causing you problems in your businesses, that is making things difficult for you in life. When you tell them you fly in a dream, they say, oh, you are a witch, you belong to the witch cult. That is what is taking away all your blessings. That is why you are not succeeding unless you get delivered. So they give you categories of, dreams, what they stand for and what they interpret in your life. This is the first fear they will induce inside you. And people who are suffering, we're in a society where, life is difficult. So people can do anything to make sure that, to believing that it will help them. Whatever you hear that will help you, will do it to succeed, to survive. So these things are what they will tell the people. The people will not, they will now take them into a hall. Oh my God, what is wrong with this boy?
Go ahead. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Akachuku. Hello?
Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Or you just cut it. Cut his call. He can call you later. You can call him later.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, some calls were coming in.
That's fine. Go ahead.
So, as I was saying, these people will be kept in a place, in a hall, then a video will be put there for them. Video of those who are delivered. You see people running, getting naked, tearing their clothes, doing everything. So these things will condition their mind. They will get to, so that when Joshua will be hypnotizing them, when Joshua will be applying his witchcraft on them, they will quickly, their brain will quickly pick up and connect to what they watched and connect to the deliverance they watched, so that they can act in same direction for them to receive their healing, for them to be delivered from their problems. So now, after canceling them, the disciples will tell them, don't try to resist the move of the Spirit. When you're being prayed for, when you're being called out for deliverance, don't cross your hands at the back. If you have been to synagogue church before and you have been in the line of healing or in the line of deliverance, you find out that if you cross your two hands at the back, disciples will come and remove it. If you cross your two legs, they'll come and remove your two legs. If you cross your hands in the front, they'll come and remove your two hands in front. Are you getting me? Yes. Because when you cross your legs, it obstructs the operation of witchcraft. It obstructs witchcraft operation. If you cross your two hands at back, the operations of witchcraft will not work well. If you cross it in front too, no way. So that is why disciples are very active and very, once you are placed on that line, once you're placed in that position to deliver, they make sure that they will remove your hands from your back and remove it from your front. You don't cross your legs. And they will have to brainwash you and ask you to get focused. Get focused and, don't change. Just get focused on what he is saying, because they know that your attention is needed before his voodoo will work. They know that your attention is needed before his witchcraft will work on you. So that is what happens. So when they come into the hall, they will place them at strategic positions and tell them, once you begin to hear fire, once you begin to hear Holy Ghost fire, don't resist. Just begin to manifest. You saw what we showed you on television. Begin to do that. Roll on the ground. Shout fire, fire, fire. As you shout fire, 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 that is what will attract the man of God attention. Disciples will bring you out and he will deliver you. When they accept this brainwash, that is where the game starts. They have problems. These people are terribly down. Nothing is going for them. So they will accept whatever you present for them. So now, at this point, they will now agree. They will jump into it. So once the thing starts, let me give you a secret, how you will know. Well, I mean, spiritual things don't take a pattern. Spiritual things don't take a format. Things that happen from spirit. Nobody controls God. Nobody controls the spirit. The spirit that controls the physical. But listen to this narrative now. Listen to this narrative of deliverance in synagogue church. When the thing come and shout, fire, 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 and you see they begin to roll and say, fire, 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 fire. Immediately this thing starts like that, the connection will link in. Fire, 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 fire. When they fall on the ground, that's, who are you? You say, I'm Obanje. How many powers do you have? You say, so we have a prototype question, we ask all of them. And we give them the answers. They tell them what they will answer. When they ask you, what is your name? Tell them you're Obanje. How many powers do you have? Tell them where the powers are. So these things are the brainwash aspect of it. That is why you see all of them. If you hear 10 deliverances, you see the same confessions from them. How many powers they say? Where are the powers they say? What of the one in your vagina? I use it to destroy men. What of the one in your eyes? I use it to seduce men. What of the one in your breast? I use it to seduce men. So these are the words that have been put in their mouth. So these are the words. This is the manipulation part of it. This is the brainwash part of it. So this word this response sinks into their subconscious. They keep this response. So when the voodoo starts working, when the witchcraft starts working on them, when he starts hypnotizing them, you see them, you look at them like this, he's open her eyes on them. So as you're looking, you are kind of hypnotizing them. You begin to see them move. Whatever you think in your heart is what will be happening to them. I don't know if you get this.
I get you.
When your eye, you see, we open our eyes and look at them. As you're looking at them, your heart, sometimes you say, begin to fall on the ground, eat grasses, and they'll begin to eat sand on the floor. You say, roll, somersault, and they'll begin to somersault. You see, whatever you think in your heart at that time on them, that's what's happening. So this is the voodoo part of this. This is the actual witchcraft part of it. So these things, when they'll start rolling, they will take, sometimes you intentionally tear off your clothes down. They will start tearing their clothes from up to down, naked. They will tear their clothes, especially women. just this thing has happened to just a few men, just few men. Maybe those are proved stubborn. And you want to show them that you can control their life, you can control their spiritual entity. But to women, it's like rampant. It makes him feel happy. It makes him feel powerful. Getting women naked in the open, using that power, that witchcraft power upon them, make them, the moment they play in, the moment you follow that brainwash given to you at the beginning of the thing, and you key inside, that is the link that the witchcraft power will grab on you.
Tell me a bit about the witchcraft power.
So when it picks you up, you see, there are some people who resist. You ask them questions, they will not answer you. It's difficult. You see disciples who come near to them and say, quickly, answer now. Don't you know? They'll push them. They don't hold mic themselves. That is why disciples hold mic for them. So when they want to say what they do not ask them, they'll remove the mic. So this is it's a complicated system. And I keep telling everybody, it's so many things fused together. If you say it's only witchcraft, the brainwash wouldn't be necessary there. But this brainwash is meant to complement that witchcraft so that you get a perfect record. So that you get a perfect record, a record that will exactly, express what he has in his mind. So this is exactly what happened in that deliverance.
Tell us about the witchcraft side.
This is what happens in the deliverance. So most of the people you see there, they don't know anything. They just came there. The disciples tell them what to do. They jump in there, and once they start that, pam, the thing will click, and they are in it. So that's just it. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I'll
continue. Some calls are coming in. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Okay, continue. Just continue then if you cannot hear me.
Akachuku, please don't call me again. I'm on program. Yeah, are you there?
Okay. Yes, I'm here. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that is that about the deliverance. It's so much complicated. It's so much complicated. There is at a point in time,
if you can hear me.
There's a water in the old site. That water, what happens is that he goes to that water, he will climb into the well and stay there for a while. Whatever he does there, only him and his witchcraft power knows. After that, he will come out of the water, and this water will be taken, bagged into sachets, and brought in the church. So once he sprinkle this water on people, they will begin to manifest. Once this water touches anybody, they'll begin to manifest, and you begin to hear bizarre confessions. You begin to hear bizarre confessions you never expected. And most of them are, there was a man that came down to begin to ask in the church. So what happened? Why is my son giving this kind of confession? The son said he killed the father. He tied the father on the plantain leaf and killed him. And the father died. The church was shouting, whoa. But about a week, the father came. When the father saw the thing on television, he came. He said, who said that? He never knew that. How can the son say he tied him on a plantain leaf and killed him? That he's still alive. So this boy was hypnotized. He never knew what he was saying. Most of the things said there are all set to achieve, the purpose he has in his mind. He wants the people to believe, yes, this is deliverance. He used that to convince the people fully to believe that he has very great powers. Yes, which he has, but it's not of God. The difference between his powers is that the occultic powers you see is because he adds manipulation, serious manipulation. It will take the grace of God for one to be able to dictate the point. So that is about the deliverance. This water, when he sprays it on people, people begin to manifest, begin to jump up, begin to roll. And the worst part is that, do you know that all these people, none of their conditions changed? Sometimes they'll stage manage them, brainwash them, come and give testimony that this has happened, and they will give. But in actual sense, you find these people still depend on the church. The church gives them money. Some of them have spent more than 3, 4, 5 years there, and without anything, there's no improvement in their lives. So these are things. Okay. Another aspect is this: the deliverance. You're talking about the deliverance.
Yes.
The main spiritual aspect, the occultic and witchcraft aspect, is very deep. Do you know that most of the powers Joshua used, he takes it from people. He takes it from those possessed. There was a young man that came. He confessed he was from from River Lebanon, down here, all the kind of rubbish they talk about. Do you know that Joshua said he delivered that guy? He delivered that guy. After about 3 days, the guy died. So when the guy died, I personally came in to ask him and say, Daddy, that guy has died though. He said the kind of power the guy was carrying was too much. He can't live with that kind of power. Why would you call it deliverance when you know that guy cannot live with that kind of power? Why does he have to die? But the following week, I discovered that, he began the deliverance more and more. I was surprised. People were coming, manifesting. This was, I come from River East, just trying to replicate what the other guy has said. Then I was thinking, so within that week, I had a revelation. When I had that revelation, in that revelation, I found myself near the sea, and I was kind of casting a hook inside the water. I caught one big fish. When I dropped the fish on the ground, the fish started talking. He said, please leave me alone. Drop me back inside the water. Leave me alone. Drop me back inside the water. I said, no. I carried the fish to TB Joshua. I said, look at this fish. He said, I should drop him. He said, okay. Brought a basin. Put it there. So I should put it there. He used a white cloth and covered the fish and tell me, don't worry, that whatever is making that fish talk, that he has taken it, that he can't talk again, that he has taken over the power from the fish. So when I woke up, I realized directly that this guy usurps powers from those demonic people that come there. He has that power. He usurps the powers to enrich his own power, to add more to what he's using. So all these things are, you hear confessions of some ladies, even later some are still calling me today, telling me he will be doing deliverance in the church. After for some few minutes, he will jump up, he will go up, he'll call them, he'll have sex with them, and come back again to start giving deliverance. So it's terrible. It's terrible. I have never seen one person who got there and truly he said he's delivered. This is the normal deliverance, the one we see in the Bible, the way Christ did it. If you go there, it's like more than 80% to 90% of the whole church are possessed. Sometimes you see everybody, they will be falling, they will be tearing their clothes. So you begin to ask, what is all this? He will bewitch them. And when he comes, it's a pity. I don't know whether you can get some of the videos. Maybe I will try and see if I can send you some videos where you see when you'll be looking at people, you'll be hypnotizing with their eyes and they'll be jumping and shouting fire, and tearing their clothes. These are very terrible witchcraft. That is where I see the greatest witchcraft in his operations. But he knows that witchcraft wouldn't work well. People will merely dictate it. You know that if he does that without brainwash, without sound manipulation, that people will dictate, because there are a lot of people who do such things too. So that is why he has to couple it up with, fuse it up with manipulation. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
So this is deliverance. The water on is very, very terrible.
Yes.
Very terrible. At a point when you discover that people were beginning to become scared of that sachet water he was throwing on them, and he was initiating them with. People began to be scared. When he brings sachet water in the church, people begin to go away. He now started the tap. So in the tap, he opened 7 taps. And in those 7 taps, he will invoke his spirit into that 7 taps. He will ask people to be going there to take water and drink. It will heal them. Take the one they will use to do their things. You know, people love things that they can't understand. People love mysterious things. People love things that, you know, looks unnatural, things that look very strange. So people were running to the water. When they go there, my brother, I bet you, more than 70% of people that goes there will fall into that water. One, when they fall into that water, you see them, they'll begin to manifest and shout. Some people will go there and the tiles on the floor that will slip them down. And what, you know, one thing is this. It's like when you tell somebody, when you come to a church, you say, let us pray. Please, before we pray, we have to turn around 7 times. Turn around, they say, in Jesus' name, before we turn, I say 1. In Jesus' name, we turn, I say 2. In Jesus' name, turn, and 3. Before a human being will turn around for 7 times, his eyes will begin to turn. So by the time you begin to shout in Jesus, now begin to shout that much, you see many of them begin to fall. And as they fall, this thing, it works like a psychology. This thing will begin to roll them, and everybody begin to, you know, that movie, the surprise that started. This is not what Christ did. That's not the deliverance that Christ brought to Christians, that Christ gave to Christians. It's a pure manipulation, pure witchcraft, hypnotism in action. You will see it. He will look at people and look before you know what is happening. And he taught us. He said, when we look at the person and look, that whatever, when we look and whatever whatever we think, we can't, you know, hold on to. The so-called deliverance is something terrible, something very terrible, dehumanizing, hypnotizing people, and using your heart to command them to go naked, and they will go naked. Hypnotizing people, using your mind to command them and ask them to eat sand, and they will eat sand. Hypnotizing people, asking them to begin to jump chairs, jump everywhere, they will begin to jump and jump chairs. Hypnotizing people and making them to confess bizarre things that is not feasible. They will begin to confess it. It's not normal. This is pure wickedness. In my first video, in those days, the one that time you interviewed me, I said so much about these things. I talked so much about it.
Yes.
It was a terrible thing. These days he has changed. He has become a Pentecostal preacher on suit. Those days with his long beard and with his white sultan on the ground, you will know he was purely a complete occultist, a complete wizard. His operations, the way he does things, one of his greatest weapons was hypnotism. He will look at you, until you somersault 20 times. He will look at you and look at you. You begin to shake and begin to say things you don't know. Many people have given confessions against their will, confessions that are not feasible, lies, because they were not in themselves. They were being hypnotized. So it's very important.
I'm not sure you can hear me.
People should stop going down to all these places. These places where they make you make confessions. If anybody should make confession, it should be him. For the atrocities he committed. He should be the one coming out openly to make confessions. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
Can you hear me?
Such dehumanization.
Yeah, we have a problem with the audio.
People should be coming together and look into this. What kind of thing is this? How can people come to your church? What you do, you hypnotize them to begin to go strip themselves naked. To strip themselves naked.
Can you hear me? I think
So,
there's a problem
my
with the
brother,
audio.
it's
Yeah.
really heart touching. It's really heart touching. He's really, he has really laid a foundation. He has really laid a very terrible foundation in Christendom. Look at what is happening in African Christianity today. Look at what is happening in African churches. It wasn't like this in those 30 years ago. I can remember when I was in secondary school in those early 80s. It wasn't like this. Now, everywhere, look at them. We have the Bushiris, Laku, different things. People don't care again to come into the church with snakes. People don't care again to command people. Is it normal to ask people to eat grasses and they will eat? It's just powers in all those things. You cannot ask me. Nobody can ask you, Brother Solomon. Nobody can ask you to go and eat grasses and you go enter the field and begin to eat grasses. Nobody can ask you how much you have in your account.
Can you hear me? Oh no, we lost him. Actually, he couldn't hear me at all. Anyway, well, guys, I think for me this is it now. You know, I have to just stop it there. There's a lot that we could go on and talk about. There's a lot that we could go on and really excavate. I'm going to try to bring him back again, you know, to give us another different angle. There's a lot that he has to say. And you could see from his voice that it is something that he regretted being a part of. And he was also a part of all those scam and everything. So you know that that's exactly what's been happening. Guys, please share this video. Tag people. People need to know. Because TB Joshua has passed, is dead, doesn't mean that there are no other TB Joshuas. There's a lot of them that carry that kind of spirit that are still manipulating people and using witchcraft and faking miracles and everything. You know, so please, we must continue to know this, to know how they operate, and also continue to share with other people, to help other people. Please make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll come back in about 2 minutes. I just got news that the legendary gospel music artist Lionel Peterson just passed away. I'm going to come back now in a few minutes and give you more details. God bless you.